Now, when it comes to being in the actual interview itself,
Mhm.
share some tips that can, bring us a sense of peace. Because, like you said, we can be super nervous, overthink, miss the question, answer it incorrectly. How are you coaching some of your clients to be like, hey, here's some quick tips for you to be more effective and consistent and concise in your interview?
Because I typically know some of the questions they may ask, like what's your biggest strength or your weakness, or tell me
Mhm.
about a time you had to overcome an objection, or tell me about a time that a product launch deadline was missed because of something you did or whatever. You know, start to think about those particular questions and already start thinking of stories. Somebody gave me some advice that turned out to be really good. Get a journal, a career journal, and start jotting down memorable experiences so that when you start going through interviews, even if it's now, later, whatever, you can reflect back. Because the problem a lot of people have is they don't remember the stories. So when the biggest fail that you have is not answering the question, a lot of people will go into an interview, a hiring manager will say, tell me about a time you failed at a project. And then their response is, well, I would such and such and such. That's
Mhm.
not the question. The question was, tell me about a time, which means give me an example of a story. Tell me a story where that happened to you. If you can't tell me a story, I am either going to think you're not listening or you've never experienced that, which also means you're not qualified for the position, because you should be able to answer that if you're at a certain level, right? So the biggest advice I can provide, without going into taking up all your time, is going to be listening to what the interviewer is asking and answering that question only. Don't go beyond, don't go too far. Let them ask the next question. Give them time to absorb it, as I said earlier, and ask follow-up questions if they need to. But give them the story that they're asking for. Don't just give them a high-level overview. The more technical you get in a position, they need to know how technical are you. And again, I'm not sure exactly your audience, but the more technical you are, the more in depth we as recruiters, and as well, Orlando, based on the positions that your company hires for, is that we want to know what's your tech depth,
Mm.
what's the depth you are in any particular role. It doesn't even have to be just tech. What is your problem solving and solution ability? So how you answer that will tell me exactly what level you are. If you're too high level, the hiring manager is going to either think, again, maybe you're not qualified for this position, or maybe you're not listening, but nonetheless, you're not a fit. So give the answers as asked.